This is the golden rule. Let's talk about it. We don't gotta walk around it. Your Bluetooth, the new tennis shoe, we finding new balance. Faith, family, and talents. How we find God around it. East y'all got the ox now. This your favorite channel. What we on Faith Talk? This a good space to talk. We gon' cross every road if we gotta jaywalk. What we on sports now? No, this ain't Sports Center, but ever since Acot, the boy had the sport in him. Man of the house now. What we talking family ties? My dogs won't talk to me. Surely I'm a family guy. You can bring the conversation to me, get it analyzed. Men lie, women lie, the truth should be baptized. Whatever you put into this world is what you getting back. So why you listening in your car, try and sit with that? Why you listening in the gym, try and lift the gnat? This is Podcast Improved. Welcome to the Golden Rule. It's golden, baby!
Yo, what's happening? What's happening, people? It is your boy Eshaw. And as y'all all know, this is the Golden Rule Podcast Show. It's a show where like-minded people discuss like-minded things. I got a special one for y'all today. This one for me hits home, right? Because I got two of my esteemed gentlemen, but they're also my first recollection of what friendship is. Like literally. One of these guys I literally knew in diapers, right? And then the other guy I met when I was about 6 years old, man. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce these two guys here. I would appreciate everybody that is watching and tuning in with us today, man. Y'all in for a special one, all right? So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring these two cats on here. First guy I'm going to introduce. He's a seasoned hospitality expert with 7+ years of experience in Huntsville, Alabama, in the short-term rental space department. He specializes in short-term rentals, from the acquisition of real estate to the importance of cash flow. He also has a master's degree in acquisition and contracts, where he had spent over 10+ years in the federal government, awarding over $10 billion. That's 10 billion with a B. All right. His expertise lies in real estate, business consulting, short-term rentals, and government contracts, all while helping clients build strong brand identities and increase customer engagement. He's recently published a book and became the author. The name of the book is titled 7 Biggest Mistakes Entrepreneurs Make Before Leaving Their Jobs. And trust me, I got it. Just got it. I'm about to crack it open. So he's passionate about staying ahead of the curve and helping others find their purpose while starting their business. Folks, please help me bring to the show Curtis Wilson. Kurt, my guy, what's going on, brother?
My God, man, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the introduction. I appreciate the love, and I appreciate you having me, man. So I'm looking forward to this, man. Long time coming, man, but God has brought us back together to have this conversation, so I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Man, we're going to touch on a lot. I'm going to get into the origins of our friendship here. I'm going to bring on the other guests, and I'm going to talk about the origins of how we met. It's very important, and I'm excited for you to share everything you got, man. I appreciate you for being here, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, we'll bring on the next guest, guys. We're going to get right into it. So this next guest of mine is the founder and executive director of the Adventist Community Restoration Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. The mission of ACRC is to restore fractured lives, rebuild broken communities, and renew hope for a better tomorrow. His formal training and certifications in Metropolitan Ministry, Executive Leadership Academy, and Urban Studies has equipped him to serve as a liaison to the community and faith-based organizations. His life's passion is to see communities, neighborhoods, cities transformed into thriving places of hope and opportunity for those that are often underserved. He has been honored to be a guest lecturer at the UNC Greensboro, the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, and Elon University to share presentations regarding faith-based community development and public health. He currently serves as the faith-based community engagement coordinator with the United Way of Forsyth County. What he is most proud about is being a loving husband and a girl dad of 3 daughters. Y'all please help me bring to the show my friend, my boy, Cedric Parker, Elder Cedric Parker, to the show, please. Ced, what's happening, man?
Yo, what up? Hello.
What's going on, man?
What's good with you?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for
this,
coming.
man.
No, man. I appreciate you, man. Y'all too. It's been a long time. It needed to happen because, like I say, my earliest recollection of what a friend is starts with y'all, and B Lee too. I wish he could be on the show, but B Lee, y'all, and Miss Parker, we're gonna get into it.
Ditto to that, brother. And for your audience that don't know, man, I know brother said as well. So if y'all didn't know, man, that's my brother as well. To the point, man, back growing up, man, we used to call each other cousins. That's how tight we was, man. So I'm looking forward to this conversation all day.
Yeah, this is a family. Hey, this a family affair.
We
like I said, I met Kurt, and we'll jump right into it. So I met Kurt when my earliest recollection of Kurt was when I was three, maybe. Curtis used to stay right across the street from us. I grew up Lockspur Drive. That's right. And Kurt, they stayed right across the street from us. So that was my first friend in life. And like him and Mike, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, man. That's where I was right there. Starting at 3-4 years old, playing literally in the sand together. Right. Kurt, man, tell us about the childhood, man. Tell us what you remember, because I was 3. You had what? You were a year older than me, right?
I'm only 1 year older than you, man. And it's funny because both of our birthdays in July, man. So I'm July 9. So yours is July what?
2nd.
So yeah, so we literally a year and 7 days apart, man. So I definitely remember, like I said, y'all may know him as Eddie, man. I knew him as Man. So I still call him Man to this day. So look, he can correct me when we in public, man. But when we having conversations like this Man.
Right.
So that's my brother right there. But man, what I can remember, what he's saying is true, man. Probably one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying, outside of my brother, that's not blood, was Man, because growing up on Lockspur Drive, I'm sure Eddie has talked about it on other podcasts, man, especially the episode with his sisters. But we was the youngest out the whole block, man. If you go back to them late 80s, man, early 90s days, me and Man and his sister Put was probably the youngest ones coming up the block, man. You had neighbors and Brian Travis and cats, the nicknames, man, Lamont Burns and all them cats, man. They was a lot older than we were. His sisters, all that. So we ain't had nobody left but me and Man. So we had it, and this was way before cell phones and gadgets and social media. So we had to make do what we do, man. So look, man, those are my memories, man. Just going outside, figuring out a way to playing red light, green light in the backyard. We used to have a big old tree in the backyard, man. And climbing that tree and all type of stuff, man. Jumping the fence, going to the creek, man. So them the memories that stick out to me, man. I can't remember the park that was down the street. I'm sure y'all can probably vividly remember.
Bywood
Park. Pila Rec Center was far up the street. So man, them were the days, bro. Them were the days. So yeah, what Man is saying, I echo, man. That's definitely, if not my best childhood friend at that time, definitely one of the top ones for sure.
Yeah, man. I just remember. First of all, I remember Mike. You, me, and Mike. Mike was a little older than us.
Right.
But Mike was kind of like that big brother. Used to be a little rough with us, rough us up, but we needed that.
Right.
And then I also remember Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. That just seeing them in the house, raising 2 boys, and even when I got out of line, sometimes they would kind of put I was Mr. Wilson, man. I ain't want no parts of Mr. Wilson.
Right.
So like and Miss Wilson was the sweetest lady you could ever imagine.
Right.
But I just remember seeing that was the first time I had ever seen a mother and father in the same household raising. Wow. That was the first time I had seen, because everybody else, I didn't. My pops wouldn't announce my mom's. I hadn't seen it before.
Right.
So I just, that stuck out to me. And he ain't lying, but we used to play all day outside, man. Just running around, around his front yard, backyard. And then I remember one day, I was probably about maybe 6. So I remember one day we went to the crib, and this when video game, we started getting real heavy in the video games, right? So I can't Kurt, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember what game we was playing, but in the basement, Kurt had this basement, man. Like it was laid out. It was
you going fast forward. So you on my castle already, man. So
yeah.
You see,
what?
So basement was my castle. See, on Larkspur, we just had that 2-bedroom house across the street, man. You had my parents' room and my room. Me and Mike shared the room. So if you fast forward to probably about me in the 7th grade, give or take, and maybe you in the 6th grade on my castle when we transitioned over there. That's where the basement. And I think I probably maybe know where you're going with this story, but I'm gonna let you finish. But yeah, I think I remember that.
I was trying to throw in when I first met Ced, because I first met Ced. Was it at Larkspur?
It's probably my castle, because
probably my castle.
I think I first met you was playing football. We was playing football.
That's right.
In the backyard, somebody's backyard. You remember I ripped your shirt. We talk about it, but I remember I ripped your shirt.
you were man shirt?
You was scrambling trying to do the little Eddie Shake or whatever, man. I grabbed your shirt and ripped your shirt.
I was trying to bring Ced in there. So I think that was when I first met Ced. Was when we was playing football. And I was like, that's when I met Ced and B. Lee, right? When we was playing football out in the I want to say it was in the field beside your apartment. Or was it in the
backyard?
Somebody's backyard. Where was Mike?
We had to go through a cut. Yeah, we had to go through a cut to get to wherever it was. It was some townhomes, and in the back of the townhomes they had like a little strip of land. That's what we were playing.
My castle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to get to the cut. We had to go to
right.
Say it again.
Woodley Lakes, right?
Woodley Lakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think Mike Carrington and all of them was playing with us then, right?
Yeah, Mike was the big dude, right?
Nah, Mike was the little fast dude. Mike Carrington was the little fast dude.
Mike.
Yeah.
So
I believe that's when I first met you and B. Lee.
Yeah, he used to go when he run.
Yeah.
You remember that joint?
Yeah.
No,
so that's when I first
you mentioned the shirt incident, because I think I remember that, because man was a hothead, bro, if I recall, bro. Like he used to get pissed, like drop off a hat. So I think I remember you ripping that shirt, and I don't know if he wanted to fight, but he definitely was.
He was bad.
He was hot. He was hot,
bro. But that's the first recollection I had of Mike. Of Ced. That's when I first met Ced and B. Lee, and we played the video game down in your basement, man. You had that basement laid out. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we was playing Greatest Heavyweights.
Oh, that sound about right.
Yeah. That was the game that we played a lot. Greatest Heavyweights, bro. And I remember y'all boys being that and that doggone I want to say, was it football, NFL, Montana football or something like that?
So if you talking Greatest Heavyweights, that would have been on Super Nintendo, if I ain't mistaken, man. And the funny thing about that, I don't even think we owned a console at that time. I mean, Cedric's father, man, Uncle Bill, I remember he used to rent that thing, man, and we used to have that thing in the basement, man. So we can go into a whole stories about Saturday nights, man.
Uncle Bill, Greatest Heavyweights was Sega.
Consoles.
Sega, that's right.
Sega joint. We had a Sega.
On that a lot more, but it might have been Greatest Heavyweights, man.
Yeah, man. Yep. So that, like I say, this is what kind of shaped. We talking about, shaping character. Seeing people who had, similar interest in hand. Football, first of all, we all was some football dudes, and I want y'all to get to some fish stories too, man. Like when we used to go fishing, because my wife don't believe I actually used to fish a lot, man. Because my wife she's a fisher. And she don't believe that I used to fish a lot, but these are the boys here, babe. Well, I used to fish with often. Right. Long fishing that started at 5 o'clock in the morning at Woodley Lake with the coolers, with the coolers,
man, and digging up worms, bro, in the woods and all type of stuff, bro. So yeah, them were the days when you talking about the fishing day, man. Them the days. I tell my kids, I say, y'all just don't know how much y'all got it privileged now, man. But I tried to take my son fishing a couple times, and he just got that look like, nah, man.
Man, kids,
I'm doing something wrong, or he just ain't into it like he used to be, bro.
Yeah, man. It's very important, Ced and Kurt, how exactly did y'all? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, until today, I thought y'all were blood cousins.
Really?
Mm.
I really did, because that's how we met. So can y'all just touch real quick on how y'all actually met, or how, how y'all's origin came about?
Yeah, and I'm gonna let Ced jump into it, and he can piggyback or take the baton and run with it, man. But actually, my mother and his, what is it? How you want to say it? Say his, my mother, his uncle, which is Uncle Roy, wife, are cousins. So down the line, we are cousins, through marriage for sure.
Right.
So when my Uncle Roy, which is Cedric's Uncle Roy, which is his dad's Uncle Bill, they're brothers.
Right. Okay.
And
I got
they
you.
had two boys. They had two boys, and Justin and Edwin, which is Cedric's first cousins.
Yep.
And we was all around the same age. So when they would come to Greensboro to hang out, they would pick up, Uncle Bill would pick up Brandon and Cedric to come over too. So you still talking
best times.
Late 80s, early 90s, man.
Yeah.
At the same time. So say you can take it from there.
Yeah. That's basically it, man. East Market Street, Seventh Adventist Academy. That's what it was, man. And started there with I call up still Aunt Joetta, teaching there, and then of course Curtis and Mike. And every Saturday afternoon, Curtis's dad would do like a Bible study. He was always real into having people over to study, and so my dad would come over, and so man, they would have a group. It'd probably be 10, 15 people down in the basement, man, and they'd be downstairs. All the adults would be studying, doing stuff, man, and then the kids would be upstairs, would be playing games or going outside or whatever. And so I think that's probably how it started, just us coming over to the house on the weekends. And it was just love, man. We all would get together, have fun. I think the best times when like you said, when Edwin and Justin would come over. And I got stories for days, man. We got the Nintendo taken away because we upstairs, on Saturday we were supposed to not do anything.
Right.
We be in there playing the game, trying to be quiet, and then all of a sudden, man, I know Ed gonna get me, man, but Ed be like, man, why don't y'all cut the game back on? And then somebody hears downstairs like, what y'all doing, man? We got the game up.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I remember Justin and Edwin, man. I met them a couple of times through Ced, of course. But I do remember that. And it's crazy how, you link these chains link up through different people, man. So
right. Like I said, you bring it full circle, man. You like Ced say, man, at the time it was called East Market Academy. I think it changed names a couple of times later on. But the same with that church school, man. That church school, what street was that church school on? I can't even. The church. It was a church, but just so happened to have a church school within the school, man. And maybe at the time, man, from pre-K all the way up through 8th grade, man, it might have been 100 kids, man. Your cousin was there, what I'm saying? God rest her soul, So I got stories for days, because like I said, we talked about offline, man, because I'm in Alabama now. When I left Greensboro, North Carolina back in 98, late 98, man, that's all I can still remember. So seeing you guys as fathers and stand-up guys and entrepreneurs now, man, it's mind-blowing, man, because like I say, when I left, that's all I remember. So when I go back to Greensboro to talk with y'all, man, I still had them conversations like we still 12 and 13 years old. And y'all like,
for sure. Yeah. And what's crazy, Kurt? So like when we was, like I say, about from like 3 and 4 years old, an event happened. You don't even know about it, but an event happened to where we had been taken from our mother for years, for about 3 years. So you talk about we going from playing every day, like literally every day, till that changes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then we got, once I moved back with moms, I was about 7. Right around about 7 years old, we moved back with moms. Now, we go back to seeing y'all again. But I think by that point, y'all had moved to Woodley Lakes.
That's when we moved to Woodley Lakes. Yeah, because you don't at the time I didn't understand it, but I knew you didn't have no choice but to move wherever your parents told you to move. So by that time we moved to Woodley Lakes, I think that probably was around the same time you may have left to go stay with your dad. So that gap, we was over there, and then I don't even know how we found out you moved to Woodley Lakes. Obviously, you was at a public school, and we might have been either at the lake or playing football. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Football. Yep.
We were playing football, bro. Yeah, we were playing football. No, that's like, it was in 95 because we moved to Woodley Lake in 95, right?
Yep.
So we playing in the field, and I'm like, wait, man, I think Kurt may have had, Kurt used to Kurt had the Kurt used to come outside and play in the school uniform.
Yeah,
like, the pants, the white shirt,
light blue shirt, dark blue
pants, shirt, bro. With the
Kurt
dark
used to be outside playing in the uniform. Him and Mike,
wait to get outside.
I'm like, man, know this dude, bro. Man, we reconnected, and it's like never left, bro.
Never left. And like I say, them stories vividly still stick out of my hand to this day, bro. So I'm anxious to hear y'all story. I hear Ced stories every day. Not every day, but every year, man. We chop it up still to this day. But to hear your stories, man, in between that time from then to now, man, I look forward to it.
Man, you gotta you talking about the uniform. You gotta remember Kurt had the box.
Kurt had
the
box, the Gumby.
Kurt had
that's the style,
the hot top box, man. Kurt used to be, man, like I'll never forget, man. I used to I didn't run with a whole lot of people because when I moved to Woodley Lakes, I just didn't know too many people over in that area. It was a whole new area of Greensboro for me. But once I found out Kurt lived over there, man, like, of course, and I know you probably got this from other places, Kurt, but everybody, the cats I used to mainly be around that lived over there, like AJ, Bruce, and all them boys, they used to kind of say, man, why you dressed like that? Like, because they ain't understand the uniform. Nobody around that wore
Nobody
uniform.
Nobody knew in a private school. Yep.
Yeah,
they knew about the church.
Yeah,
people knew about that church, man, but they was like, wait, that church got a school? And they could never, you found out, and Ced probably can attest too, man. You talking about almost every week, man, trying to explain private school. Why your parents just don't send you to public school? What? Y'all don't do this, y'all don't do that. What's up with that?
Yeah.
So, man, you had the pressure and that had to be stand up 24/7, man. It was a lot, man. But I'm looking forward to this day, though.
I admired it because it was different from what I was used to. It looked like to me, I've always felt, man, them cats are super disciplined. This is something I probably couldn't do at the time. That's why I was thinking about it back then.
Right.
That's why I never questioned it or never, like antagonized it, so to speak, because it was for me, it was honorable to be like that, man. Looking back at it now.
To jump in the real radical or before its time type of movement that it was, you talk about an all-black school.
Yeah.
With all black teachers. Right. And so when you think about just, we talk about the time we living in now, you had individuals who were dedicated to teaching children, not only about spiritual things, but also math, science, English. And so there's a lot of stories, man, of people who either left the public school and came in that school. And for the first time, they got that smaller class environment that helped them excel to get to the next level, man. We got folks like, you might not know them, Ed, but like Brent, Henson, Rocky, these guys went on to do great things. We had folks who just needed an opportunity and get around people who believed in them instead of tolerating them, celebrated them. And man, like they just took off and went to the next level. So the cool thing about that, or the radical thing about that, is this was an all black school, all black environment. And it just impacted so many lives. And so shout out to Sister Kendall, Miss Cook, all those folks who really made that possible, because now you look back at it, you just don't see it like that anymore. And they were some trailblazers.
For sure, man. And to be quite honest with you, man, this next point I'm gonna get into speaks to that. Because, all right, Kurt, so you left in 97, 98, right?
I left in May of 98, bro. We didn't even finish out the summer. I didn't even get it. As soon as I walked across the stage, 8th grade, we was on a one-way ticket to Huntsville, Alabama. Well, at that time, Birmingham, Alabama. We moved to Birmingham. We moved to Huntsville. But I didn't even get a chance to say goodbyes or none of that, man. It was one-way ticket to Huntsville, Alabama. I'll say Alabama. So.
Right. So, I said that because right around that time, that's when I would probably say 97, 98 to be exact. That's when me and B. Lee started hanging real tough.
Yep.
I you know, B and Said knows this. B Lee was like that was my little brother. Like I don't even know if you know Kirk, but me and B Lee at one point were closer than me and Said, only because we were closer in age. And I used to hang with B Lee every day. I
can believe that.
So
you
like
spend a night at your house.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like it was to a point where I would, you know, Miss Parker. That's mom's. That's mom's. You know, that's my second or third mom. I used to be over there all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. If I wasn't at my house, then my mama and grandma, they knew I was. It was only one other place I could be. You know. But and I say this to Said, I never told him this, but man, Said, I used to the reason why me and Said got so close is because number one, Said used to Said was tough, man. Said used to hold us accountable.
Yeah.
And then I used to look at the way Said carried himself. Like he don't know this, but I used to look at the way he carried himself. I looked at everything. No, you know, I looked at everything he did, from how he kept his room clean, how he held himself like in front of people, like how he carried himself in front of people.
Yeah.
Said was smart as heck in school. Like he made great grades.
Grades.
You know, how people looked at him, how people interacted with him, his mannerisms, the way he carried himself on the field. Sports, Said was tough. He outworked everybody because we wasn't the most talented. You know, we wasn't the fastest. And I got like Said used to be like, dude, I'm not. He used to say it. He had a sense of self that most people his age didn't have. He used to always say, like he used to always say, bro, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the biggest. I ain't about to lift the gym, but you're gonna have to show me. Like, you're gonna have to show me who you is.
Right.
Like, and he, whether he noticed or not, kind of passed that on to me, to us. Brandon looked at everything he did. Brandon, like, B. Lee soaked up everything. And for me, because I didn't have an older brother, my older brother was in prison at the time. And I definitely didn't have a younger brother. I grew up with all girls. So I'm looking at his dynamic with Brandon, how he cared for Brandon, and kind of like, I was like, man, I'm kind of jealous. I want that. Never said that, but I'm like, man, I want a brother like that. So what I'm gonna do is, he don't know I'm looking, but I'm gonna soak up everything he teaching Brandon. You know, and that's what I took from Said. And like I say, man, like everything he did, I looked at. Even, you know, some of the like you know, he dated my cousin for a long time. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that vividly, bro, man.
I used to look at their dynamic and be like, dang, like I want to treat a woman like that. Like, right. You know, how he was as a man, and I seen him go from a teenager to a man. I was like, dang, man, I want to carry myself like that, man. So he don't know that, and I'm telling you now, Said, a big reason why I hung around y'all as much is because I longed for the relationship that you and B. Lee had, and I longed for a big brother, and that's really what you became to me, man. Hey, so if you want to speak to that, bro, did you know I was looking, or how, like, you know?
Nah, man, I just looked at it honestly, man. Again, shout out to my dad, man, my pops. Just that's just the type of person he was, man. So just to be real transparent. So like Brandon, you know what I'm saying? All my brothers, we all got different dads. And so my mom, I never looked at my brother as like, you know, step brother or whatever the case may be. It's my brother. Yeah, Rick. And so my dad would, Rick, man,
man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's my God, man.
Well, Pops, man, was just always just a stand-up guy, man. So I remember when I was younger, my dad would come and pick me up, and, you know, Mama Pops went together, you know, like you were saying before. That was something that wasn't common to me as well, like seeing, you know, Uncle Bobby and Aunt Joetta. But my pops would pick me up when I would go stay with him on the weekends. And so on the weekends, I would go, you know, hang out with Pops, and Brandon would be like, man, like, why does Said go with his dad? You know what I'm saying? And so after a while, my dad was like, man, nah, he coming too. So, you know, every weekend, Dad had me. I went to Disney World. Brandon went to Disney World. We was going places. And so I think part of that was also, with me, like anybody like yourself who came around, man, it was just love. I didn't see, any kind of separation or whatever. If you was my friend, you was my friend. And Dad was really big on loyalty, so was I, man. And that's one thing I know about you, Ed, man, was you always were very loyal. Your relationship with my brother, with Brandon, was always like just love, man. Like you said, just hanging out, playing basketball, playing sports, man. So I never even gave it a second thought, man. It was just, you was Ed, man. You was my friend, and I was just gonna make sure you was good. You in the house, man. Whatever you needed. Mom would whip up something in the kitchen. Same thing over to Uncle Bobby, Uncle Curtis, and Joetta's house, man. I remember just going in the refrigerator, eating Cheerios, doing stuff like that, man. So it's just that was always a thing, man. You was you was my friend, man. You was my brother, so never looked at it any other way.
Yeah, man. I never once ever felt like, that's the thing. I never once felt like I wasn't part of, the Parker household when I was over there. I remember the first time I spent the night over there, bro. You might not remember this, but there was a Tyson fight. And
okay.
It was a Tyson fight, man. Your mama cooked a bunch of wings, bro.
Man, mama was Miss Parker.
Man,
I bet you I remember one night. Was that the Tyson and Bruce Sheldon?
Nah, that was a Tyson and Holyfield. That's when he bit Holyfield ear. That was Tyson and Holyfield.
It had to be Bruce Sheldon, because Tyson Holyfield, I watched that one with you talking about when he bit him. That was the second fight then.
That's the second fight. That's
second fight. Okay.
Yeah. And she cooked a bunch of wings and some stuff, man. And me, Rick, you, B. Lee. I think you was in the front room watching it.
Mm.
I'm talking about your bedroom. I'm sorry. I can't remember. Maybe you was in the front room. But I just remember, like, yeah, man, this right here.
Is it the same house that I used to go over there to? That same house, or is this a different house?
Same one.
Okay.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the one right across from Claremont.
Okay.
But ever since that day, man, I never once felt like I wasn't part of the household, man. Like I say, the countless football training that you used to give Brandon and me in that field across the street.
Hey, that field across the street.
Man, like, it was just, bruh, it taught me how to care about somebody who wasn't a blood relative. Like I say, man, you know how I felt when I had to leave to go to college. Man, that tore me up, bro. That tore me up because B. Lee was my little brother, man. And the countless talks we had, man, just going around the neighborhood. I felt protected when I was with Sid. And we wasn't in no beautiful neighborhoods either, man.
We didn't know, at least definitely on our side, we didn't know that Locksburg Drive, Claremont area, brother, that was considered the projects, man.
We didn't know, because it was a lot of love. It was a lot of love over there, man. Man, those countless, Claremont versus Kings Forest football games. Forest.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
shout out to Mike Ebron and D Moore.
Man, it was always love, man. The people that, GT, Gary Tillman, all said partners, like literally, I was introduced to them through Sid, and it was all love, man. Like, it was just that was big bro to me, honestly. And the way Sid carried himself, even to this day, he became my spiritual mentor all through college. I had some issues in college, man. I would call back and sit me and Sid to chop it up. And that's the dynamic that we got. That's bro. That's bro. That's that's the best I could put it. And
that's love, man.
That's powerful.
And Miss Parker, that's mom's. That's how it is. Shout out to rest in peace to Mr. Bailey, man. When I went a couple of times, I rode with Mr. Bailey. A couple of times. I even did I even go with y'all one time to clean the building?
Probably so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I went one time, maybe once or twice, to clean the building with y'all, man. And Mr. Bailey, just his spirit, man, was you had no choice but to feel, comfortable around him, because, man, Mr. Bailey was smooth, and You know, it was like he was a part of his family if you was with him. Right. That's what I got from him in that van, back in the van, riding along, man, about to go clean the building.
Right. And so you call him, I call him Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill, subconsciously, now I'm listening to y'all talk subconsciously. Uncle Bill was probably the first entrepreneur that I've probably came across that, you know, outside of some people in the family. Because if I recall, not only did he do that cleaning, he owned his own taxi cab. It's before Uber lived all that stuff. He owned his own taxi cab. And my dad used to drive Bluebird taxi, and Uncle Bill used to drive the yellow taxi. And I remember my dad used to have, because he didn't own his own taxi, he had to give a piece to the owner of the car. But we would talk to Uncle Bill, and Uncle Bill used to try to get my dad to own his own taxi because all the money he made went to his pocket. I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, he was a genius, man. And not only that, man, he was a serial entrepreneur because he used to clean carpets. I remember he used to come clean our carpets every now and then. So I'm like, he was always, man, a stand-up guy when it comes to entrepreneurship that I had no idea at the time. Now that I'm reflecting on it, man, that was the first snapshot of what I saw entrepreneurship was, man. So
for sure.
That was dope, man.
For sure, it was for me. Yeah,
Toss a special dude, man. Just also throwing there too. I think he was one of the first African American folks at the time. He ended up driving for like Pepsi and Coca-Cola to have their own route. So, you know, most of the routes were given to, folks who weren't African American, and so he was one of the first people here in the Triad area to have his own Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola route, man. So that spirit, like you said, Curtis, of entrepreneurship, even when he was young, man, bought his first home probably in his 20s, man.
Wow.
And so, he was before his time, man. So I miss him, but conversations like this, man, it's always good to hear these stories, man.
Still with us.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate it. Salute to Mr. Bill, man. Salute to Mr. Bailey. I want to jump into where you guys are at professionally, man. I think it's important. I'm gonna start with you said. I read off the accolades in the introduction, man. I just want you to elaborate on that. You know, your passion. You know, you're passionate about what you do, and inform and tell the people what you got going on, man. Because I think it's very important.
Appreciate it, Ed, man. And it's even hard to talk about stuff like this without also, giving credit to, you guys and especially Curtis, man. Man, my journey with nonprofit actually started, man, it's been a minute ago. I remember going down, in a couple of weeks, my wife and I, she went to HBCU down in Huntsville called Oakwood University. And so her best friend stays there, and we would go down every year to go see your best friend and go to this alumni weekend. And, Kurt at the time, man, was doing some amazing things. And I can't remember what game it was. I remember it was the Alabama game. Was watching the joint on the big screen, and Kurt had his folder, man. And in his folder, he had his paperwork for his nonprofit, man. And we just started chopping it up about, how nonprofit works, and, here's what you need to do. And, even when you name your nonprofit, this is how you want to position yourself to get a grant and blah, 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 man. And at the time, I'm like, man, this is crazy, because I'm thinking, man, I ain't no way in the world I could do this, because it just takes so much time and effort and paperwork, blah, blah, blah. And Kurt was like, nah, man, here you go. I still got it somewhere. It's probably over here in one of my boxes, man. Took that, man. And again, like you were saying earlier, Ed, man, just the work ethic of just kind of staying with it. Checking in with Curtis from time to time when we run into certain situations like articles of incorporation, so on and so forth. And eventually, man, God just opened the door. Met some really good people here in Greensboro. Shout out to STC Consulting, Dr. Catherine Ado, kind of pushed me over the edge, man, to finally file my nonprofit articles of incorporation, everything in 2019. And pretty much HCRC, man, is just it's a community development corporation trying to uplift those who are underserved, man. We focus on 4 areas: character and leadership, health and wellness, economic advancement, and education. And so, we've done some great things over the years. we partner with Second Harvest Food Bank to deliver allow over 1 million pounds of food to be delivered to families. We've also done some things, especially during COVID. We established a food network working with different churches and nonprofit organizations to get food to families. Because if you know, when school is out, a lot of kids, that's their breakfast and their lunch. When they go home, they might not have food. So when school was closed, that was a big issue where the kids couldn't get enough food to eat. So we were actually able to partner with some other organizations to help that. Currently, man, we're trying to work on some after school programming, and also trying to work into the space of doing some things around like financial literacy. And so that's going to be more so on High Point, man, but really excited about it, man. My wife, she's helping me out, man. She's great at grant writings. And so she was actually working on some grants today. But man, really, when it boils down to it, it is really about kind of what we talk about here. It's like giving the same opportunities to young men, especially African-American young men and women, the same opportunities we have. Like, I really believe some of the answers to the world's problems are found in, some of the most unlikely places. Kids is not given a chance. The person who will probably cure cancer, probably over here right now in a Title I school. The person who has the opportunity to come up with the next, Facebook or innovative or creative idea, but they just need the opportunity. They need the extra help with the math, the science. And so ACRC is just trying to play a small role in that, partnering with schools, partnering with neighborhoods and communities to just help give that extra boost, man. And so that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're excited about it, man, and looking forward to some potential partnerships in the future.
Yes, Ed. Man, that's huge. And I remember one time I came home. I came home on the break, and you was like, "Hey, Ed, I'm out here, and I'm gonna be out here in Ray Warren tomorrow, man. We're throwing this event." And I'm thinking, oh, Ray Warren. I don't know, Sid. I don't know. And this is at the time Ray Warren wasn't no joke. But I went out there, man, and the event that you had on the basketball court, man, all those kids and people, man, came together in harmony, bro. And it was I was impressed is the understatement, bro. I was a taken back, bro. That's the best way I can put it.
Praise God, man.
The food that you had out there for those people, man. The music, people was like literally the basketball court was full of people playing ball, laughing. I didn't see nobody upset. And this is people for those who look. Everybody in Greensboro, Ray Warren. It's it's a troubled community, and not saying that people are trouble. It's just the environment. But man, it was just a beautiful event that you threw, and that's when I was like, yeah, man, like this guy here is amazing, man. Like what you're doing. So I appreciate and applaud you for that, man. And I know a lot of hard work goes into it. Thank you. I'm thankful for your wife, man. She helps you out a lot with that, man. But that's a big thing. You're always gonna be blessed when you do stuff like that. And I tell my wife all the time, when you do stuff like that, man, when you put others above yourself, and it's coming from your heart, you always gonna be blessed, man. You always gonna be blessed. God. For sure, you're always gonna be blessed, man. I know you got a website out. You got a website for it. Are you currently on social media with?
So you can find us on social media. I believe it's the ACRC. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and also our website. So I think it's _ACRC.org. And again, we're just trying to make an impact, man. Making sure everybody has the opportunity to excel, man. Especially in these times. I think we gotta, as you know, some people, Dr. Farrakhan used to say, sometimes you got to do for self, man. And this is part of it. It's about building communities, man, strengthening communities, strengthening families, so that we're able to rise and meet, and exceed expectations, man. And so,
100%.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, this is where it starts, man. Everybody always, y'all talking about it. What's the solutions? Well, we're gonna make sure that I'm gonna make sure that I put out there, your social media platforms where everybody can find you, because this is a part of the solution. It starts in the communities. It starts right here, with our people like Cedric Parker, man. this is a part of the solution, for those who have those questions. So, man, I appreciate that, Sid.
Sure.
Kurt, and we're gonna touch back base with you on that as well, Sid. But Kurt, I want to real quick elaborate on your professional, where you're at right now with it. Explain kind of to the folks what you got going on, man.
Yeah, CEO.
Man.
Yeah.
CEO,
come
man.
On, come on, big.
Man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
CEO, author, man. Yes, sir, man. That book right there is definitely a truth of where I'm at today, man. When I talk about the 7 biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make, those are not all 7, or shall I say, not all inclusive of every mistake that one is going to make when that transition, but those are the biggest ones. I can attest to that, man. Mm-hmm. But where I'm at now, man, like Eddie said at the beginning, man, I'm currently in Huntsville, Alabama. For those that have not heard of it or never been there or whatever the case may be, but we're town up and coming in Alabama, man. And where I'm at, fast forwarding from leaving from Greensboro, man, we moved down here, like I say, back in '98, man. So moved around a little bit from Birmingham and then kind of just dived into Huntsville back in 2000 or so, and just kind of been residing here ever since, man. So if you're familiar with Huntsville is a engineering city. I mean, PhD city. When people talk about as smart as the rocket scientists, no, Huntsville has literally rocket scientists here. The city is booming, man. So you have no choice but to be around an environment of smart people. A lot of money flows through Huntsville, man. So fast forwarding, after getting my, undergraduate degree at University of Alabama, Huntsville, and a master's degree in acquisition of contracts, man, I worked for the federal government for about 10 years. So we're talking probably from 2011 to probably 2022, give or take, right? Probably in the middle of COVID, give or take. And contracts, man, for the federal government. So when Eddie was reading off that bio a little bit, yes, I had the opportunity to work with the federal government and award, billions of dollars to federal contractors, man, from buying stuff from paper products all the way up to missiles and things of that nature, man. So understanding and learning that, man, it was kind of a sense of it's people out here doing big dollar things, man. And I'm looking at some people that look like me and you guys, man, and we're not, for lack of better words, eating off of this type of stuff, man. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, not only in that space, man, what can I get into to kind of get my piece of the pie, for lack of better words, man. And I had a mentor, Jamal King, bro, that I kind of found out through E.T., the hip hop preacher, who had a guy on his team that was called Jamal King that was in real estate, man. And he talked about everybody, for the most part, is in real estate, just what side of the street are you on? And I never knew what that meant. Mm-hmm. So either you're the landlord or you're the tenant. When people say, well, I own my own house. Well, you're still a tenant to the bank in some way or form. So until you own that thing outright. So just kind of understanding that whole gameplay, man, would just kind of set us off to where we're at now, man. So long story short, man, in my professional career, we have short-term rentals, Airbnb. A lot of people know it as Airbnb, but there are several platforms that you can do short-term rentals on, and we're blessed to have about 13 Airbnbs in the Huntsville area, along with multifamily traditional real estate that we have traditional tenants where I'm the landlord, me and my wife. So long story short, man, that's what I do here. Our company is Acquire Home Corp. You can go to acquirehomecorp.com and you can see more detail and all our credentials. And shout out to my wife, man. None of this is possible, as you gentlemen know, or as married men and standing by. None of this is possible without that significant other, man. So when people talk about having to help mate, it's nothing like having that wife, that support system to get you out through this. Because while I building this brand of a short-term rental space and getting this information and consulting and all that, man, she's holding down the house. She's raising kids. She's making sure we have hot meals. She's making sure things don't slip between bill payments and all that, man. So this entrepreneurship journey, this venture, man, would not be what it is without the support of my wife, man. So shout out to her and shout out to you guys, wife, because I know you guys can relate to that as well.
Absolutely. 100.
Yeah. 120%, man. I know
120%.
As much as I work and I'm trying to, build this business up as well, man. My wife definitely, man. y'all know she is a huge reason why I'm able to even do what I do. Even with all the extracurricular activities I do, she's a huge reason and a motivator as to why I do what I do, man. So yeah, shout out to my wife and y'all wives as well, man. They they rocks for sure. They are definitely rocks.
Right. Yes, sir, man.
Kurt, man, I want to touch base. You say, you spent 10 plus years with the federal government awarding over $10 billion.
$2 billion.
$2 billion. I'm sorry, $2 billion. Kind of touch base on that, and how does that translate to, kind of help because again, we talked before the show. It's a lot of people, man, that are looking to, buy their first home or get like me. I'm possibly looking into getting into commercial real estate. So my question is, how would that type of information, that, government, funding or awarding over $2 billion with a B dollars, how does that translate? That type of information?
So with government contracting, man, in a small scheme or big scheme of things, man, the federal government is probably, if not the number one buyer of services and products across the world. I mean, if you were just to simply Google how much of your taxpayer dollars that the federal government spends on things, man, it's probably mind blowing when you start looking at that dollar, man. I mean, like I said, we might even be talking close to $1 trillion a year just in then federal funds that we spend on. So in that space, man, I had the opportunity to be in a room with generals and 2-star generals and people, and just listening to how these people talk and think, man. You talking about just a wealth of knowledge, man. So for me and mine, understanding how to speak that language, how to understand, okay, when you're talking about submitting proposals and, doing bids and getting your numbers and stuff straight, man, that stuff is on a level that I could have never even consumed or even fathomed that was stuff that we even bought. I mean, when you're talking about the government buys buildings and everything that the government buys have to go on a contract. That's just mind blowing in itself. I mean, we do it every day, but we don't understand it because it's just so repetitive and just so natural that we don't understand every transaction is a contractual transaction. Anytime money legally exchanges hands, that's a contract, man. Whether the contract can look in the form of you buying gas and getting a receipt. That's a contract in its own self. So for me, federal government just kind of helped me understand the language of how these people think. And then, of course, when you're talking about the dollar amount, I'm like, if I'm personally not responsible, but had a helping hand in awarding $2 billion just in my section of my team, I can imagine what it was for across the board.
Right.
So how does that transition to real estate and all that? Well, the same concept. The federal government, they don't necessarily buy real estate, but they become tenants to others that have real estate. So, for example, as you talked about buying commercial property, the government, let's say you have a commercial property in Greensboro or somewhere of that nature, the federal government can come to you and say, well, we don't necessarily want to buy that property, but we want to lease it from you. We have some people coming there because we're working on a project, especially like with Cedric's nonprofit and things of that nature. We will give you federal dollars. We will give you grant funding to use that facility. And that's kind of the space that I got into. Okay, well, we're talking about acquiring clients and things of that nature. Well, simply I make the federal government one of my major clients. And that's a whole different thing that I can go into. But on just a top 50,000 foot view, man, that's just kind of how I got into it, by just being surrounded by those individuals that in that space.
Man, that's a real big tool to have, man. Somebody with your expertise, that I could, hey, Kurt, man, look, man, I'm thinking about, because me and my wife have talked about it, and we are making strides to do it.
Yeah.
So, man, it's real good to know that I got a friend that actually speaks that type of language, because a lot of people don't speak. Yeah. I'm one of them that really don't. I understand certain things, but
not even just not speak the language, man. Most people, especially in our communities, we don't even know it exists, man. I mean,
exactly.
probably correct me if I'm wrong, man. But the good word talks about, our people fail for the lack of knowledge, man.
That's it.
And right. That's a prophetic word right there, man. Just in itself, that verse right there, man, is really the truth, man. When you look at the economy and how our people, for lack of a better word, just behind the curve on a lot of things, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they teach, and like I say, man, you cut me off, but they teach us so much, man, about going to school and getting degrees and all that, which all that is very important, man. But they never teach, ownership, man. And having some and that true generational wealth. It's starting to get a little traction now with social media and things of that nature. But man, our parent generation and things like that, we just never knew about it, man. We just knew about, blue collar jobs, work 40, 50 hours a week, bring home a check and turn it over to somebody else. So, sure. Just kind of understanding that shifting that mindset, man. It's just mind changing to say the least, bro.
For sure, man. Said, I want to, big part of what you do is serving.
Yes.
Big part of what you do, Said, is serving.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we started having these kids. It ain't about us no more. It's there's that service, man. Is 24 hours, sometimes 25 hours. You said one of the proudest things, you're most proud of being a loving husband and a girl dad of 3 daughters. Talk to us about that, man. You got 3 girls, man. How is that? And I got 3 boys, or 2 boys. Third. So.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing, man. I tell you, every day is always, a moment where, you just kind of gotta smile and, laugh, man. 'Cause it's just, it's special. It's special, man. You try not to take these moments for granted, man. I know Curtis and I, and Mike, we always should talk about, I think it's a movie called Holy Man. And I think Shannon Sharp mentioned the same thing. Like, you only get, 75 summers, right?
If you blessed,
if you bless, that's 75 years. So think about every summer you get. Like right now, I just turned 42, man. So you do the math. I got 30-some summers left, Curse. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the mindset. Exactly, that you got to look at just how you approach, your family, making sure you're intentional about everything that you do, man. And so, my wife and I were blessed when I got married. She has a daughter, and Shania. Shania is 21. She's my bonus daughter, and I love her to death, man. She came into my life, man. I think she was 6 years old, and the same thing, like you said, man. I think my dad and the way he kind of dealt with, my brother and that whole situation just kind of prepared me for just being, a father figure in her life, man. And so super proud of her. She's a junior at the University of Connecticut, man. Smart, majoring in communications, man. And so that prepared me in that respect. And then my wife and I were blessed to have Eliana in 2018, man. And so again, man, we had kids in that situation. I think I was 35, and so again, having some life experience behind that, but you still don't know everything, man, once you get into it, right? And so she's just a special child, man. Just very loving, very caring. Her and my dad had just amazing relationship, man. And so each and every day, man, in Eden was born in 2022, man. Crazy story about Eden, man. I just started college. My wife finished her master's degree in December 21. So she walked across the stage pregnant at the time. I don't know what made me do it. I started classes in January 2022. My first big paper was due the weekend of spring break. Eden was born on March the 8th. I literally hit send on March 8th, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then took my wife to the hospital to give birth to Eden, man. So, you talk about managing family stuff, man, but she's been such a blessing, man. Out of all 3, she is definitely the one that's going to go test the patience.
Oh, yeah.
Over the place. Oh, yeah. She's gonna try every single thing, man. But at the end of the day, man, I think it makes you a better man. When you really start to think about, I think a lot of these times now, I think about like my parents, my mom and my dad, how growing up, a lot of times, we thought they knew everything, right? And then you look at it like, I'm the same age my dad was, when I was born, or so on and so forth. And so it just kind of makes me reflect, like, man, they was really going through and thinking about how they gonna make sure the bills are paid, how we got food on the table, same things that I'm doing now. So it just kind of makes me think about those things, man. And the biggest thing, and I was, going to actually ask Kurt a question too, because what I love hearing is like what's going on right now currently with the federal government. Like, Curtis, you had the foresight, man, and I don't know if your job would have been impacted, but you got out when a lot of people now losing their jobs, man. Right, in the federal government. And that big thing about freedom, Ed, man, like the thing that I cherish the most now is spending time with my girls and my wife. Is how do we get that freedom to be able to do that more, right? You only get those summers. Man, I want summer, spring, you know what I'm saying? I want all the seasons.
Right.
So how do we position ourselves to be in that place, man, where we're still being able to have that residual income, where you don't have to actively be there to earn that dollar, but you can have real estate, have stocks and whatever whatever other vehicle to bring in, revenue. And so that's really what it is, man. So just trying to spend more time with them. But like, I would love Kurt to touch on that, man. That freedom thing and coming to family, that's huge, man. That's huge.
Yeah, and what ET, shout out again to ET, hip hop preacher, man. His big thing is, what's your why? He always asks, what's your why? Why do you wake up and do what you do? And at the end of that, it should be a why. And for me, it's like said, it's freedom and family. And Cedric has a book, 9 to 5 Millionaire. Jamal King talks about these pillars, man. And these pillars are, he probably gonna hold up the book now, man. But then they talk about these pillars, man. And I might mess it up, man, but it's freedom. No, it's faith, family, finance, fitness, and freedom. 5 F's, man. And he literally wakes up every day, and I'm following it to a T myself, and wakes up and follow those F pillars, man. And when you put things in perspective every day, that is men, man, you wake up to that, man. You're definitely, that's your why, man. So as far as that, said my mom was just talking about the other day. She said, I was thinking about you the other day because I was gonna get on your case back in 2022 when you left. You really had to walk away from this secure job, because her mindset, you about to walk away from not just a secure job, but the federal government. That's harder to get into the federal government, to go out here and do some short-term rentals type stuff. Boy, you crazy. So fast forward 3 years later with all this stuff going on, she's like, God obviously had a better vision, because me back then, Ma, God got me. This is what I'm gonna do, and look where we at now. So I mean, it's just a testament, man, to following God, man. Like I say, without getting too spiritual, man, the faith is real, man. Faith is real, man. It definitely takes a leap of faith, man, to literally walk away from a secure job with family, with little ones, to go out there and kind of bet on yourself, for lack of a word, if you want to mix the two a bit. But just bet on yourself, man, and be successful with it, man. But it definitely takes a lot of strategic planning and things of that nature, hence the book. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes that cost a lot of time and money, man. But to fast forward to where we're at now, man, I still wouldn't trade it in for the world, because like I said, that has given me freedom to literally, we're blessed, to me and my wife, we can spend literally every waking moment with each other. Nobody knows when we're going to leave this earth, man. But we're blessed to where she's working full-time in the business. I'm working full-time, and even the kids now are starting to do their thing within the business, man. So I can't describe the feeling of that. I mean, there is stress. My wife can probably get on here and say some days, she ready to say, I'm about to go back to being the RN, man. But at the end of the day, man, it's a blessing to be able to work with your spouse and have that freedom to choose to, I don't feel like it today, or if I do feel like it today. So,
man, that's dope, man. That's exactly what I'm trying to establish here with this golden rule.
Man, you're doing it already.
Yes, sir.
Not just the podcasting, but just I can branch off, in several areas, man. My wife is ultra smart. She got a lot of ideas, man. We're just trying to put the pieces in place to where we can, make it happen. And it really starts with, like you said, Kurt, just time, freedom, dude. Like, it's easier said than done. But once you get to that point, man, it feels great to be able to, like, I'm spending a lot more time with my family now than I once did a couple of years ago.
Right. And there's no feeling like it, Eddie, man. And then to understand that one day you're going to be able to pass that on to your kids, man. That's a joy within itself. I mean, one of my mentors always talks about, when he talks about real estate, that just imagine from a financial standpoint how far the curve you could have been, or how ahead of the line you could have been if your parents would have gifted you a house, at 22 for a graduation gift. I can do a whole story just on the benefits of that, man. So you can just imagine that. So, but the fact that we have the information and knowledge where Cedric can pass down, whatever ventures or whatever he has going on outside of the nonprofit, or you can build up the golden rule, man, and be able to pass down that whole empire down to, man, your boys. And it's just mind blowing, man, when you start thinking about it. And that's the fulfillingness of it, man. Right. Just knowing, we won't physically, if the world's still going on, we won't physically be here, man, but knowing that you created a legacy that's going to go on to generations to come, man, that's the fulfilling part.
For sure, man. Kurt, touch base on, I know you got a couple of kids as well, man. So, man. Touch base on that, man. Touch base on the family, man.
Yeah, man. So personal life, man, I got 2 kids, man. My kids are Clark and Carter. I don't even mind sharing their name. My Clark is my daughter. She's about to be 15 this year, man. So I might be calling Cedric to get some tidbits here, man. Look, she got a little special friend. I don't really use the boyfriend. I call them special friends. Man.
Right.
He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy too, man. Respectable kid. So she's she's in the 8th grade. She's getting ready to go on to high school here in the fall. And then I got my son, man, my bread and butter, man. He's 6th grade, about to be 12 next month, actually. So April he'll be 12. So he's you don't have the Eddie and Cedric and the Wilsons, drive for football, man. He's a gamer, man. Yeah. So, you had them boys, man. You definitely want them to follow in your footsteps. But he tried it out. He was like, I don't know about this football thing, Dad, but let me pick up this controller. So
go for it.
But they're my world, man. I wouldn't trade them in for the world, man. That's
for sure
my joy. We're 2 and done. So because I tell people all the time, man, look, as much as I love them, as much as I praise them, I say, me and your mama, we want to buy our time back when we get to our late 40s and 50s. So.
That's right.
We want to buy our time back, man. So, but I love them to death, man. Those are my joys right there.
That's what's up, man.
Real talk, Kurt. I was just gonna jump in there, man. I got an article that I read. The gaming industry is gonna be one of the next, I guess, $1 billion industries that's supposed to overtake the entertainment industry, man. So maybe he's moving in the right direction on that,
bro. Look, I push and support everything, man. Like I say, I'm and my wife, her name is Caress. I tell her all the time, man, I'm not gonna be the ones that tell them. I limit their screen time and stuff, man. But
for sure,
I think when we was doing for the audience, man, behind the scenes, man, I couldn't figure out my audio on this computer here. And I had to call my son in just to help me with some basic stuff like that, man. So I don't shut it down. I just listen and learn, man, because you can learn a lot from youth.
every day, bro. Just hearing y'all talk about y'all kids I'm laughing because it just seems like 20, 30 years ago we was kids. So I laugh every day, man. Look, I got CJ. He's 12. That's my bonus son, but that's my son, man. And I learn something from that kid every day. That kid is super bright. He wants to be a paleontologist and he wants to go to Clemson.
Nice.
He already know what he want to do, which is at 12. I had no clue. So, shout out to CJ, man. And then my 3-year-old or 2-year-old, I keep saying he's turning 3 next month. That kid that's a COVID baby, man, for it. Like that kid is something else, man.
I was gonna get on you and say it about that. I said both of y'all got some COVID babies in there.
COVID babies, man. They different. Man. They different. They came here already knowing what's going on. What's that?
Right.
They already
Well,
know what's happening.
I commend y'all. Y'all got the COVID babies. I got the COVID weight that I'm still trying to fight off, man.
That's all right. We're gonna get it. Hey, we're gonna do it together.
Working it off. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna do it together, man. It's a blessing, dude, to have kids. It's crazy, man. I wanted to ask y'all, y'all did daycare with y'all kids, right?
Yeah. Well, I did.
Yeah.
You did too, said?
I did.
You did? Okay.
My mom did.
Oh, that's right. Sure enough. So you may be able to relate to this. Kurt, when y'all took a tour of the daycare, y'all was about to, put your kid in before you, man, on that tour, did you shed some tears watching your child? Like you had to relinquish that responsibility to the director of did you shed some tears, bro?
Oh yeah, especially with my daughter. She was the first one. So I mean, when my son came around, it was a little bit different for one, because he was the second, so we was used to it. He gonna be all right, little man. And the second, because he's a male, I still sometimes emphasize that on surface. But with baby girl, dude, you talking, me and mama had to go to work. So you talking she was about 3. Yep. You taking her down there to that daycare, man, and you don't know these people, you don't know these other kids, you don't know the parents, you don't know anything. And she can barely talk. So if something happened, man, this world is crazy. It's like you gonna shut down this whole daycare if I got to. And of course, I'm not the only parent feeling like that, man.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
So man, I'm just, dropping her off at that daycare, man, and she's clinging onto your leg, man, asking, why are you dropping me off to this people I don't know, kicking and screaming, crying. And that's another thing, just a sidebar real quick, man, when you talking about the freedom and the entrepreneurship stuff, it's like, I can't even spend these adolescent years, these most important years of my kid's life, because I got to go make a buck. I don't even have a choice. It's just crazy, man. But that feeling, man, I don't know, man. That dropping baby girl and she holding onto your leg and you almost gotta pull her off you, man, and hand her over to these strangers, man. It definitely tears for happiness, tears and tears of just I don't know.
Yeah, man. That was way harder for me, bro, than I thought it would be. And we just on the tour. We not even dropping them off. We just touring the place, man. And we going through classroom to classroom, and just having to step back and watch this kid who's growing up, relinquishing responsibility onto these directors, man. Dude, I had a moment where I was crying, bro, straight up, and it was tough, bro. It was tough. And he was doing well. I was kind of upset. I was like, dude, why are you doing so well in this place? You don't even do this at home.
Because that's look, especially for mine, man. After they're good at what they do. These teachers are great at what they do.
They are, man. They are.
You talking about a good week, man. After about a week of being there, man, she's hopping out of her car seat, running to her classroom before I can even get a good hug and kiss. She already gone. I'm like, man, I'm the one still crying. She like, what's your problem, Dad? Suck it up.
Right on, man. Right on. So I just wanted to ask that because I thought it was something wrong. I'm like, why am I experiencing this, man? But man. So daycare is coming, and I got another. I got little Kaiden, man. He'll be born in June, so we're having another boy in June. Man. It's a blessing, bro. I'm working hard, man, to get to a point where I can spend still as much time as I can with these kids to be with, to spend with these kids.
Right.
Just trying to figure out different ways. And that's what this golden rule, and that's why I'm trying to establish this now, man. So,
and when you talked about the commercial, I'm going to bring it back there for a quick second. You talked about the commercial real estate. Of course, I'm going to be biased to real estate, man, because I'm in it. And I just think that's one of the best ways to free up that time, man. I mean, real estate, it's so many plays you can do with real estate to make money, man. And like I say, it's work. It's work before you get to that true mailbox money that they talk about, man, and that passive income. But if done right, done respectfully, man, that real estate will probably free up a lot of that at a quicker timeline than you can probably I ain't gonna say fathom, but that to make happen, to lack of better. And so I would definitely love to grace your podcast again, or come up there and speak at Cedric's, nonprofit, man, and just kind of dive into the benefits and the pros and cons of real estate that we weren't taught about, man. We just weren't taught about, man. And I can spend a whole podcast just talking about that.
Shout out to Kurt again. I didn't share this piece of it, but we actually started a business as well called Parker's Real Estate Ventures, and same thing, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on now, Steve.
We've been doing that since 2023, man, and we're trying to get into the short-term rental space, and then also, like you said, multifamily, man. So just trying to make it work here in the High Point, Greensboro, Forsyth area, man. So again, shout out to Curtis, man, just kind of being a trailblazer, man. That last trip last year in Huntsville, man, he took us around, him and Caress, man, showed us the city, showed us the play. And once I asked him this one question and he told me how to do it, I said, listen, taking this back to the crib, man, and get up on
Come on, man.
We're getting close to getting that first one established, man. So, yeah.
So I'm gonna have to take a trip down the hunt. So what you telling me, said, is I'm gonna have to take a trip down there.
You got to get the play, man.
Come on, look, come on. I was just telling Mike, my brother, man. I said, man, I got to figure out a way to get back to Greensboro. There's just too many. It's too many people there, man. That I would love to connect back with, man. But yeah, come on, Eddie, we here.
Oh no, trust. No, my wife loves to. We coming because I got to get the game, and it's very important, man. This is something that we really want to do. We putting ourselves in a position to where we can do it. And we, more importantly, man, we just trusting in God, man. We know that God gonna do all things. He gonna make it right for us. We know that. So I got to come down there now and get the instruction for real.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
you know what I'm looking forward to. I know you about to jump in there, Eddie, man. And Curtis, we talked about this on the trip last year, man.
Yeah.
You were saying basically, part of this is also helping other people understand and know and having more friends to get to do life with, man. So I can't wait for the day, man, with me, you, and Eddie, man. We on somebody beach, man, with the fam and watching the kids and enjoying life, man. So I can't wait to see that day, man. I know it's gonna come, man. So speaking that to existence, man, where two or three are gathered. So
yes, sir. Hey. Look, I'm all for it. As Eddie said at one of the last lines of that bio, man, I get joy and seeing other people succeed, man, and whatever venture they're in, man. And I get it even an extra joy when it's real estate, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm like, you see it. You see for what it can do, bro. And, man, I look forward to that day, too. Said me and wife were just talking about the other day, man. I said, we do enough trips and stuff, just me and her, which are enjoyable to say the least, man. But it would be nothing like it, man, to do it with the people you love, man. Them trips with the people you love.
It's what I do professionally, man. I help develop people. I'm in customer service, of course, but I general manage an automotive shop, so I'm in automotives, which is crazy. I didn't know nothing about cars before I got into it, but the fact that they allow me to work in an industry that evolves every day, and then I get to manage people and help develop people into leaders. I love it, man. So I love seeing people succeed at something that sometimes they don't even think they can succeed in.
Right.
It is. It is the reason why I do what I do. It's just a passion. It's hard to explain sometimes, but the joy I get when one of the guys that works beside me becomes a leader it's I can't even put it into words.
I know exactly what you said, bro.
You know what I mean? So Kurt, we not only are we coming down to check you out, but part of what before I met my wife, man, I had a joy with just being at home chilling, playing sports, going to work out, and being in my house chilling. Yep. That was my joy. But she's a traveler, bro. We try to travel at least 2 to 3 times a year.
Most wives are.
Yeah, and it is it's the most exhilarating thing, bro. When we out there, I never got on a boat ever in life before I met her. It is the most exhilarating thing possible, man. Being on the beach, you couldn't get me to no beach. You couldn't do it. I'm not going in no water. I'm not going in there. But the beach is so relaxing to me, bro.
Right.
So Soon as my wife drops this baby, we get my boy, and we get him acclimated to this world. Me and the wife, we got to get back out there, man. We're trying to plan something now, so we can make this said Kurt happen as soon as y'all want.
For sure. Look, come on, man. Yeah. Look, we here. I tell people all the time, man. You tell me where y'all going, man. I'll do my best to try to meet you there.
For sure, man.
Do my best to meet you there. And like I said, the feeling of it, man. The feeling of seeing, like you say, your kids and even a step above your kids, to see that happiness on your wife's face, bro.
Yeah, man.
Take her to those type of places, man, and just give her a break from her day to day, because sometimes they don't get the credit, man, for all the work that's passed on to us, man. I mean, you guys, even in these conversations, say Kurt, but I'm telling you, man, the wife definitely does a lot behind the scenes, man, that they don't get public recognition for, and be able to return that back to them in the forms of just little trips and things, man. It's just priceless in itself.
Yeah, man, that speaks volumes to you. Like my wife, she's met just about everybody that I've dealt with in my life and who have helped shape me. Said, have you met my wife?
She came out to one of the football games.
That's right.
Thanksgiving games. Yeah, before y'all were married. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eddie, do you remember years back, man? We came to Charlotte and we met you, man. Matter of fact, you took us to a restaurant, a brunch. I still got the picture. Matter of fact, it's still on Facebook. But man, you told us about the it was like a science museum out there. And I don't know if your wife came or not, man. I felt like I met her like she came, but it might have just been you, man.
You definitely didn't. Yeah, if this was over, you definitely didn't meet her then.
It was over. It was before COVID for sure.
Yeah. You definitely didn't meet her. But she has to meet you though. Because again, it's one of the ones that helped shape who I am. So she definitely. That's why I say we got to come down to Alabama. I haven't been to Alabama in over 20 years.
Oh man, it looks nothing like what you remember. I promise.
Oh, I bet it don't. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think she's ever been down there either. So that's gonna be something that we're looking forward to, man. Especially when you're talking about engineering and stuff. My wife is ultra smart, like she's open to new things, man, new places. So and then of course, we talking about the real estate thing, which is something she's definitely interested in, man. So we got to get down there, bro. We got to get down there for sure.
I'm always trying to sell Huntsville, man. Look, man, come on.
Look,
I've been trying to get Cedric to come on, pack up and get down here, and whoever else, man.
You already know. I'm the only one holding that up. My wife will move tomorrow.
Right.
Hey, that's how my wife. Hey, if it makes sense, she worked from home. Yep. So, if it makes sense, fellas, I'm gonna wrap it up in a little bit, but I cannot forget to stress the importance of this conversation today, man, and more importantly, just we got boys, we all got we got kids. Let me say that the importance of stressing good character that we try to build into our kids and how they choose the friends that they bring into their lives.
Right.
Again, a big part of the reason when I went all the way to Oklahoma to go to college, right? And it was just something that I had to do. But certain morals and certain principles and certain ethics that I looked for in people were created from this. If you really didn't have anything going for yourself, or if I felt like you didn't have certain characteristics that I seen from other people in my life, I really couldn't involve myself with you. And we all got something going for us today. We all make mistakes. We learn from them, right? And we make ourselves and people around us better. Yep. So I cannot stress the importance that in you guys, man, and how big of roles y'all played. I can still remember certain things from 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. You can't do that unless the people that are in those memories with you meant something to you, or left a lasting impression on you like that, man. So I cannot stress how important it is, man, for y'all guys, man. So I'm gonna let y'all say y'all lasting remarks before we get out of here. I'll start with you, Kurt.
Yeah. So, look, man, I appreciate this opportunity to just connect with you guys, if nothing else, man. Like I say, man, this is just a conversation, man. And the catch up, it just so happened the camera's on now. So, look,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
appreciate. I don't even remember how it really came, folded all the way back around, man. But I think ended up tagging me in one of your posts, man. And I'm like, you don't even have to ask, bro. Just tell me the time and the place. I'm there. I'm gonna clear my schedule to make sure, man, because if nothing else, man, just to connect with you guys, man. But to hear and seeing how much you guys have matured, how much you guys have turned into men, fatherhood, marriage, all the nine, man, that's just commendable because we are still a statistics that's not the norm.
No.
We are not the norm
Right.
when if you go out there and look at the statistics, man. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to y'all's village. And you guys are carrying that torch, man. But as far as me personally, man, I appreciate the audience for rocking with, man. May God bless the Golden Rule podcast and all the endeavors, man. And I look forward to coming back and really diving into some real estate and giving you guys some free nuggets, man. As best as I can, man, because I'm still learning as myself, man. But like I said, I'm an advocate of if I know, we know. So you guys, man, maybe one day he can come on and do a live where y'all can ask questions, man, and I'll be happy to answer them, man. But for those that want to get in contact with me directly, man, my website is A Quiet Home Corp. I have all my social media links there, but in my Instagram, I believe it's A Quiet Home _home. So you can reach out to me, DM me there. And even on Facebook, I know Facebook is a thing of the past, but man, you can type in literally Kurt Wilson, man. And if I got room, I'll add you as a friend and you can DM me, man, and we can have a conversation there. But man, Eddie, I appreciate you, brother. Said, you my brother. I'll see you next month. Chop it up
next month, baby.
So, man,
yes,
God bless y'all, and man, keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Kurt, man, I appreciate it. And you definitely, no question, will be back on here sooner than you think, actually.
Yeah, I'm here.
And we're gonna discuss that. This will be, by the way, folks who are watching on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Prime, YouTube Music. So you can hear this, you can play this back on there. And Kurt, like I said, I tagged Kurt on the Facebook. So like his Facebook profile, y'all can reach him there. And like I said, he just mentioned his website, so y'all can reach him there as well. I'm definitely want to make sure I highlight that as well. After the stream. Go ahead, say it. I'm sorry, man.
No, you good, man. You good, man. I'm just gonna end with a story, man. I don't know if you remember. There was one time we was at the house at my mom's house. We been in my room. We were playing Madden. We was playing Madden. We had bet some money. Me and you, Eddie. You remember that, Jay? It was playing because
I want to hit a bet.
I could beat your man. So beat your man. So back in the day, man was my game. So we playing the game, man. I'm talking to Ed like, yo, man. Yeah, you thought you could beat me, and Ed was on it quiet for a minute. He was playing the game, Kurt. Hey, Ed dropped the controller real quick and ran out the house, man. I tried to grab him. He was on the front porch. He said, I'm going to pay you, I'm going to pay you, man. Hey, man, I'm trying to get him, Kurt.
Hey, look, man, you went in that man's domain trying to beat him at his own game. You should know, man.
Hey, man.
Nah, because,
remember that day like yesterday.
Oh, my God. I'll never forget. You had the dog. Who did I have? See, yeah, I know you had the dog.
Yeah, Patrick Sertain. I remember playing with him. So, I know he played for the Dolphins at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Oh, my God. Hey,
you should know not to challenge Sid in them video games, bro. Especially his own game.
Way back. Ooh, that's way back.
I remember that, man. Oh, my. Hey, Sid. Hey, that boy Sid. I hit that corner, man. I hit
ran
that
out the house real quick.
Oh, my God. Hey, that boy Sid tried his hardest to get me.
Listen, man. Hey, after I missed that first initial little grab, man, it was a wrap. It was
gone.
Hey, Kurt, the funny thing is, Kurt, he ain't lying. Hey, I was running down the street talking about some. Hey, son, I'm gonna pay you, man. I promise you, man. I'm gonna pay you.
Yo, man.
Oh,
crazy, man. But yeah,
it's always been about his bread, man. Don't get it
man.
Don't let the past fool y'all.
Oh, man.
He's always been about their bread.
Yeah, that's that BC, man.
Yes, sir.
Before Christ, man. But this is nothing but love, man. I enjoyed the conversation as always. Love being on the platform, being able to talk about just real life stuff, man, and about, business and family and friendship, man. I think, one of the things that you mentioned, friendship for me, when I look back at over my life, has been something that it's just been a blessing, man. God has blessed me with some really amazing people, man. Like, we've been friends, man, like you said, over 20, 30 years. And just being able to see where each of you are now and what you're doing, man, it's just amazing, man, to kind of see, where we've come from, man. So just ACRC, if you want to get a chance to kind of check that out. The website is out there. It's _ACRC. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Doing some really good things in the community, trying to empower people and more so, especially during this time where a lot of folks are, fearful about what's happening. We want to be that entity in the community that's providing those basic needs, whether it be food, education, financial literacy, being able to, like, that mentorship component. And so if you're interested in supporting or even just learning more, check us out on social media, check us out on our website. And again, Ed, man, I really appreciate this, man. And it was actually, man, my birthday. Yeah, put the post out on my birthday, man. And
that's right,
I couldn't think anything else. Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. And so, we shot that in there like, yo, man, all I want for the birthday present, man, is jump on the podcast with Kurt, and the rest is history, man. So
we made it happen, man.
Fellas. Yeah. I'm loving it, man. Gotta do it. And looking forward to that day, man, where, like we were saying, man, we laid up on somebody's beach, man, with the kids, with the fam, man, just kind of looking and enjoying life, and realizing, like, yo, like, this is a dream, man, like living a dream, man.
For sure.
So
we're gonna make it,
man.
It's gonna make it happen, man.
It's gonna happen.
Definitely gonna make that happen.
It's happening sooner than later, man. And
later.
For sure.
We already know, man. We gonna legally figure out a way to make that into a business trip, because that's gonna be
Come on.
Tax write-off, man. But that's
tax write-off. Hey, yo, that's Kurt's favorite word, man.
Hey, podcast from the beach, man. It's gonna be paid for you by your sponsor of the Golden Rule, man.
That's it. So, come on, let's get
bro.
it.
Let's go, man. This has been a special one for me, man. I appreciate both of y'all boys, man. And I'm gonna tell you, first of all, we definitely gonna make that happen. Kurt said, I'm talking about sooner rather than later. Both of y'all will be back on the podcast. This is part of the reason why I created this podcast. Is because I talk about a lot of things that a lot of people don't talk about. I feel like, financial literacy, being able to, learn how to either grow your own food. My wife, she gardens. She's trying to teach me. She's trying her best to teach me how to garden, man. But learning how to either garden your own, grow your own food, or learn how to grow your own food. Education. That's why a lot of my episodes have been on education in the community, because I feel like those pillars, like you say, financial literacy, education, food, health, wellness, fitness, those things are essential to building a community, man.
Yes.
And if if I have people that know about that, that's why I'm thankful, man. That's why I say I'm always blessed, because I'm blessed and I'm thankful that I got people, friends, brothers who actually can speak on this stuff and get this information out to people, because it is very important on building communities. This is how you build a community, talking about these things, implementing these things into the community, man. So more than anything, guys, I appreciate y'all for blessing my platform, this podcast, with that information. And y'all will be back on sooner rather than later, for sure.
Once again, you tell me when, bro. Hey, look, I don't clear my schedule for a lot, but certain things I will clear my schedule for, and this is definitely
same here.
So
sure, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, guys. I'm gonna put y'all in the backstage, but if y'all want to sit tight for a little bit, man, we'll chop it up about some stuff.
Go ahead.
No cameraman, but I really appreciate y'all, man. Thank Curtis Wilson, Cedric Parker, folks. I really appreciate y'all, bro. So there you have it, folks, man. Y'all got a chance to meet two of my colleagues, two of my best friends, two of my brothers, man, really. And they shared a wealth of knowledge with y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all really enjoyed the information, man. But more importantly, just to see brothers, black men who are still hanging, still laughing, still impuing wisdom and knowledge and understanding with each other after 30 years of friendship, man. That's the key. So, man, I love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, man. And until the next show, I'm going to holler at you. Peace.
This is the golden rule.